Breaking news! Breaking news!
All right, guys, how are you guys doing out there? This is John Crump, and this is John Crump News. And we're going to be talking about the NRA today. Today, there was a split decision from Judge Joel Cohen, who is overseeing the NRA trial in New York. Loretta James and her ilk sued the NRA because they said they were misappropriating funds and everything else. This deals with the lavish spending on by the board members and Wayne LaPierre himself. He basically is no longer a part of the NRA. He retired, but it was more of a forced retirement because of the case. But a while ago, the judge did find that he defrauded the organization, the organizational members, and was liable for that. So today, the judge issued a ruling. What New York wanted and what a lot of people wanted was Wayne LaPierre banned from ever having a position in the NRA, and that someone gets appointed to oversee the NRA. So there was a split decision today. Loretta James did not get everything that she wanted, and the members did not get everything that they wanted either. What a lot of the members wanted to do is for someone within the NRA that's a good guy, or someone who is pro-gun they wanted someone to oversee that happen. Loretta James wanted New York to be able to appoint someone to oversee the NRA, which would be a bad thing because that would have been a really anti-gun person. So the judge went ahead and said, I'm going to do neither one of those. I am not going to appoint an overseer of the NRA. But this guy, Wayne LaPierre, is a threat to the organization. Basically, he didn't say those in exact words, but he banned Wayne LaPierre from having anything to do with the NRA for the next 10 years. And Wayne is not a spring chicken, so that's basically a lifetime ban because there's no way he's going to come back. He tried to retire from the NRA because, in my opinion, this is just my theory, I think that he knew what was going to come down. But yeah, the 10 years, that means if he ever returned to the NRA, it would be at 84. And I just don't see that happening. So the NRA cannot have him in any form with the organization. So he is barred totally. The overseer of the NRA was not appointed, like I said. So we'll see what happens. So there's no independent monitor of the NRA. There is a lot of new people that were elected to the board. There were 5 reform candidates, and all 5 reform candidates were elected, including Jeff Knox, whose father, Neil Knox, went to war to try to save the NRA back in the day. So we'll have to see if they can really do any type of repair on the NRA. If you read my articles in the past, you can see that there is a lawyer that has a lot of control over the NRA right now, and he's basically running things from behind the scenes. So we'll see what happens, but he is no longer allowed to do anything with the NRA. This is the second stage of the civil trial. The first stage is them actually saying that he was guilty of defrauding the organization. This is what the judge said. The reason why he didn't appoint someone to oversee the NRA is because he felt that it would be speech-chilling government intrusion on the affairs of the organization, which I tend to agree. I'm pretty sure that that would have been a chilling speech. He said, "This relief is about the privilege, not the right, to serve as an officer or director of a New York not-for-profit." Basically saying if you are on the board or if you are the director of a not-for-profit in New York, that is a privilege. You do not have any type of legal right to serve on that. And with that thinking, that allows the judge to step in and say, I'm going to ban you from ever holding a paid position within the organization for a decade, which, let's be fair, 84, you're not going to go back in to do anything. So we'll have to see what happens here. So another reason why he did not appoint an overseer is because it would cost a lot of money to the NRA to actually pay that overseer, because the state wouldn't be paying that overseer, the NRA would. And he didn't think that there would be enough benefit from appointing an overseer for that. And it would be time consuming, and he thought that it would be disruptive to the organization. So this is probably a fair ruling to see, but it is probably not what Loretta James wanted, and it's probably not what the NRA wanted, but it is probably the fairest ruling that the judge could state. There are some other people that wanted stuff like the board to be reducted or other people to be banned, but that did not happen today. So some people wanted to go further. I'm pretty sure almost everyone wanted to go further, like the reduction of the board. Because right now there's so many board members, you got to get that down smaller. But the people of the NRA, they're never going to vote to basically eliminate their jobs. So that wasn't going to happen. Bob Barr is the president of the NRA. I reported on that before it happened for my inside sources, said, hey, they are going to anoint Bob Barr to the president of the NRA. NRA proper has also taken a lead over the NRA ILA. NRA ILA for years was run as like a separate entity, basically autonomous. But right now, NRA proper has really taken over as the shot callers for the NRA ILA. So there's no more, I guess there's no more independence on the NRA ILA. It's that they are just basically taking the marching orders from the NRA proper, which, according to my sources that were very, very high up, and I believe these sources, there is a lawyer that's basically calling all the shots. Basically, he's calling all the shots at the NRA, and there's nothing really we can do about it because he is going to. I'm going to go ahead and post this article here. This is some earlier on where I named everybody in here so you guys can read the article, what was going on. This is a couple months old, but Brewer is the high price attorney, William Brewer, who is basically calling the shots for the NRA. So he's not even an elected official or anything like that, but everyone in power is one of his guys, allegedly. I got to put that out there so I don't get sued. Allegedly, one of his guys. But I trust these sources, and it's from multiple sources. And if I would say the names of these sources, you guys would definitely know who they are. So yeah. So we'll see what happens and see what happens. But right now, Wayne LaPierre would not have any involvement in the NRA for the next 10 years, which basically is a lifetime sentence. And R. Boyd, they make some powders for that and some cream. You can pick that up at like CVS or Walgreens or Dwayne Reed, whatever your local convenience store is, whatever. All right. All right, guys. That is it. Crump, has any news organization ever tried to sue you? Okay, that is a good question. I've had some agency. Well, it depends. There was the ATF tried to put a gag order on me. I guess that counts. We beat that. There was other companies that threatened legal actions if I didn't take down stuff. But everything that I put up is pretty well vetted from multiple sources. So there's been threats, but no one's ever went through with that because they know my sources are good and they know I would fight back and go through discovery. I actually have a special type of insurance that I pay monthly to actually defend me in case I ever get sued. So I pay this insurance monthly, and they would provide lawyers. And if I lose for some reason, they will also pay out whatever I lost. But I'm pretty good with my sources verifying and everything. Not to say that there's never any mistakes. Like when I said Rare Breeds warehouse got raided, it wasn't their warehouse, but it was a company that was actually making and storing the triggers for them. So let's say they sued me over that. That would come out. That would have came out months earlier because in discovery that would have been discovered. So a lot of these companies tried to scare you, not Rare Breed, but because they didn't like threaten to sue me. That was just an example. But there is other companies that have tried to threaten me, and when they knew I had the goods, they've tried other stuff like bribery. And I'll tell you right here, there have been companies that said, if you don't take down your video, if you've reported that, we're going to sue you. Usually it's written articles. And I said, all right, go ahead. Then they're like, well, how much money will it take not to run this story? And my answer is always the same. I'm going to run it no matter what. So you can't pay me off. Can't be bought. Not a shill. I'm not going to cover for you. If you attack the American gun owner or do something that is inherently bad for the American gun owner, I will put it out there And there's no amount of money that I will take to not write that. Taurus, for example, they didn't offer me a bribe, but they tried to, Taurus USA tried to get me not to write the article about the president of Taurus, the international company out of Brazil, who just happens to be a former president of the Communist Party of Brazil and is working hand in hand with the Brazilian anti-gun government and their far left president. So there is that. They didn't want me to write that because they're like, they're like Taurus USA and Taurus International are different companies. We have different philosophies. But I pointed out that Taurus International still owns Taurus USA. And that's one of the reasons why I would never, ever again buy a Taurus handgun ever, or any type of Taurus gun or anything Taurus makes, because I don't support communism. And their president of Taurus International, at least used to be a communist back in the 80s, and he does work hand in hand with the left-wing anti-gun left-wing anti-gun Brazilian government to infringe on the rights of Brazilians. And I talked to a lot of the gun rights organizations. One of the things that Taurus did down there is says, hey, we got the support of this gun rights organization. And they gave me the name of the gun rights organization. And I looked up and it's like, we stand with Taurus. Taurus is a great company. And then I looked who funded that gun rights organization in Brazil. And 100% of their funding came from Taurus. And so when I reported on the Taurus thing, I also reported about that, which kind of pissed them off. All right. That is it. Just wanted to free helicopter rides. I actually got a shirt that says that. If you don't know, look up Pinchot and free helicopter rides. The dude took the communist up in a helicopter and threw it off. There's actually quite a fair number of Brazilians that watch my channel, including like the heads of a lot of the gun rights organizations in Brazil. They more read my articles, but they do watch my channel as well. So shout out to Brazil. All right, guys, that is it. Just wanted to make a quick little video to let you guys know what is going on with the whole entire NRA thing. It is definitely an interesting situation that went down today. I figured that they were going to get someone appointed over them, but they did not. But that did not happen. But Wayne is gone for 10 years at least, which would make him not eligible to return to the NRA until he's 84, which I doubt that he will return at that stage. So I think Wayne is done with gun rights because there's no other organization on the planet that will hire him to do anything with guns. All right, guys, that's it. So stay ever vigilant and see you guys tomorrow.